Today we are discussing about groups, social groups, its typologies, primary groups and secondary groups, in and out groups, vertical and horizontal groups, Gemeinschaft and Gesellschaft groups, peer group and reference groups. Now, introduction. Introduction of the groups. At any given moment, each of us is a member of many groups simultaneously, and we are subject to their influence. Family, friendship groups, athletics teams, work groups, office staffs, ethnic groups, and so on. Groups impinge on every aspect of our lives and are a major determinant of our attitude and opinions on everything from childcare, politics, and the economy. The study and understanding of social group is central to sociology. Sociologists devote much attention to groups of all sizes and characteristics. Much sociological study investigates how individuals are shaped by their social groups, from families to nations, and how groups are created and maintained by the individuals who compose them. Social group. The term group has a specific definition in sociology that different from everyday usage. Sociologically speaking, a group is a collection of people who interact regularly based on same shared interest and who develop same sense of belonging that sets them apart from other gatherings of people. They form a social relationship. This is sometimes referred to as developing a sense of ness. All groups share this factor of interdependence. People who just happen to be the same place to the same time are not a group. Rather, they are an aggregate. If these people interact and develop some sort of shared interest or sense of themselves as a group, then they become a group by definition to sociologists. A group is a collection of individuals who interact and communicate with each other, share goals and norms, and possess a subjective awareness of themselves as we, that is, as a distinct social unit. Definition of social group. The social group has been defined in a variety of ways by sociologists. Each of these definitions emphasizes some one or other features of the social group according to the viewpoint of the scholar who has advanced the particular definition. An analytical description and description of the definition of the social group will bring it out its nature. Some main definitions of the social group are the we will know about it. R.M. Williams defines a social group is a given aggregate of people playing interrelated roles and recognized by themselves or others as a unit of interaction. In this way, the social group is an aggregate of some people. The roles of these people are related to each other. The group is considered a unit by every member of it, in which the conduct of the people is interrelated. It is recognized in the same light even by individuals external to it. Whenever two or more individuals come together and influence one another, they may be said to constitute a social group, according to Agman and Nomkov. The definition of the social group is oversimplified, but the least it does it convey the information that a collection of individuals can be considered a group only when they influence each other. In other words, they should have an awareness of each other. My clever opinion is, by group we mean any collection of social beings when entire into distinctive social relationships with one another. The definition makes it abundantly clear that there must be a social relationship between the individual members of the group. According to Gilling, a social group grows out of and requires a situation which permits meaningful interstimulation and meaningful response between the individuals involved in a common focusing of attention on common drives, motivations, or emotions. This definition of the social group treats as essential the mutual actions and recreations as well as mutual simulations between the members. Some motives, drives, interests, emotions, and stimuli are common within the group. Edward Sapir defines, according to his opinion, a social group is constituted by the fact that there is some interest which holds its members together. The members should also be persuaded to cooperate with each other through some same common interest. According to Merle, any group may be defined as two or more persons who are in communications over an appreciable period of time and who act in accordance with a common function or purpose. According to the definition, besides a common purpose, communications for an adequate and proper period is also essential. A social group is that aggregate of persons which is like a unit and whose members have some common aims, interests, stimulations, and emotions together with mutual social relations and social interactions. Through the medium of all of these, members of social group influence each other and are tied to each other. Sociologically speaking, a group of collection of people who interact regularly based on the same some shared interest and who develop some sense of belonging that sets them apart from other gatherings of people. They form a social relationship. This is referred to as developing a sense of we-ness. All groups share this factor of interdependence. People who just happen to be in the same place at the same time area, not a group, rather they are an aggregate individuals riding the bus or walking in a park are examples of aggregates. If these people interact and develop some sort of shared interest or sense of themselves as a group, then they become a group by definition. Another term that is often confused within the group is category. A category refers to people who share some common characteristics or status. Categories are often used by sociologists in studying social life, age, race, gender, income, level, religion, affiliations, being a musician, or living in an apartment are all categories. People in a category do not necessarily interact or share any sense of belonging, and many not even know each other. Group formation. Many groups are formed to accomplish some task. This requires that the members work together somewhat as a team. Groups coming together to design a military action or a plan of golf tournament all go through some group formation process. Bruce Tuckman depicts four stages of group development that are often termed forming, storming, norming, and performing. As groups come together and try to accomplish goals as a team, they evolve through each of these four stages. They come together, work out differences, get to work on the task at hand, and then get the task done. These stages of team building apply to all types of groups. When individuals form together as a group, they enter the forming stage. They learn about the other members, explore the group goal, and share their backgrounds and expertise as issues become content. The group moves into the storming stage. Members may express dissatisfaction, criticism, hostility, or even drop out of the group. Most groups do experience conflict at same point, although it may at first appear destructive. This storming stage can actually be constructive if differences are presented and resolved openly. When members start to resolve their issues and work together, they are norming. They begin to form a choosive unit, establish rules and rules to get their job done, and start to think of the group as a we. Then the group performs by getting down to business and working towards their goals. There may also be dissolution stage in which the group wraps up their talks and determine their roles. This stage can be planned, such as when the group accomplishes its goals, example, completing a fundraising events, or spontaneous budget contains projects before its completions. Group dynamics. An entire field of study known as a group dynamics has developed around the scientific study of groups and group process, drawing from both sociology and psychology. Group dynamics includes studying the influences group have on our behavior. Areas of interest include how groups form and develop, the socialization and that takes place within the groups, power structure, conformity to group ideas, conflict, leadership, and decision making. Kurt Lewin is generally considered the founder of group dynamics as a field of study. Types of social groups. Each of us is a member of many groups. Simultaneously, we have relationship with family, friends, team members, and professional colleagues. And friends in groups. Within these groups are gradations. We are generally closer to our siblings, brothers and sisters, than our cousins. We are intimate with some friends, merely sociable with others. If we count up all of our group associations that define our daily lives to the thinnest connections about which we have some feeling, we will uncover connections to literally hundreds of groups. Some important classifications of groups. According to Cooley, the sociologist given the classification: primary groups in which there are face-to-face, strong and cooperative relations between the persons such as a family. ప్రైమరీ గ్రూప్స్లో వ్యక్తుల మధ్యన ముఖాముఖి సంబంధాలు చాలా బలంగా దృఢంగా ఉంటాయని చెప్పి చెప్తా ఉన్నారు. సెకండరీ గ్రూప్స్ వేర్ స్ట్రాంగ్ పర్సనల్ అండ్ వార్మ్స్ రిలేషన్స్ ఆర్ నాట్ ఫౌండ్ ఇన్ ఏ పొలిటికల్ పార్టీస్. సెకండరీ గ్రూప్లో వ్యక్తుల మధ్యన ముఖాముఖి సంబంధాలు కానీ లేదంటే పర్సనల్గా మరి రిలేషన్స్ కానీ ఉండవు అని చెప్తా ఉన్నాడు. ఎగ్జాంపుల్గా ఒక రాజకీయ పార్టీని కనుక తీసుకున్నట్టయితే, రాజకీయ పార్టీలో సభ్యుడైనప్పటికీ చాలామంది రాజకీయ పార్టీలో సభ్యులుగా ఉంటారు, కొన్ని లక్షల మంది. వాళ్ళందరి మధ్యన ముఖాముఖి సంబంధాలు ఉండాలనేటువంటి నియమం ఏమీ లేదు. కానీ ప్రైమరీ గ్రూపులో అక్కడ ఫ్రెండ్స్ లేదా ఫ్యామిలీ లేదా తన నైబర్స్ లేదా తన అక్క చెల్లెళ్ళే మరి అంటే స్నేహితులు, ఈ రకంగా ముఖాముఖి సంబంధాలు కలిగినటువంటి వాళ్ళు, వ్యక్తిగత పరిచయం ఉన్నటువంటి వాళ్ళు ఉంటారు కాబట్టి అది ప్రైమరీ గ్రూప్ అని. మరి ముఖాముఖి సంబంధాలు లేనటువంటి దాన్ని సెకండరీ గ్రూప్గా ఇక్కడ చెప్తా ఉన్నారు. ప్రైమరీ గ్రూప్, సెకండరీ గ్రూప్ అన్నమాట. సో అకార్డింగ్ టు సమ్మర్ క్లాసిఫికేషన్, in groups where the members have common object and common interest and sense of we feeling, the members of the in groups treat others as a outsiders. These groups can be formed on the base of relation, country, political interest and economic interest. Example, out groups is a example. Groups of other than in groups are out groups. Miller classification, vertical and horizontal groups. According to Giddings, public and private groups. According to Flaywood, sanctioned and unsanctioned groups. According to Gillin and Gillin, groups based on blood relationships, based on physical traits, based on situation, proximity, based on cultural interest. According to Gillin and Gillin, Watts qualification, according to voluntary and involuntary groups, group size and effects. Group is a collection of individuals who interact with one another, share goals and norms, and have a subjective awareness. As we to be considered a group, a social unit must have all three characteristics. Certain gatherings are not groups in the strict sense but may be social categories. Teenagers are truck drivers or audience, everyone watching the same movie. The importance of the defining a group is not perfectly diagnosed whether a social unit is a group, but to help us understand the behavior of people in society. As we inspect groups, we are able to identify characteristics that reliably predict trends in the behavior of the group and even the behavior of individuals in the group. The study of groups has application at all levels of society, from the attraction between the people who fall in love to the characteristics that make some corporations drastically outperform their competitors, the aggregation of individuals into groups has a transforming power, and socialists understand the social forces that makes is transformation possible. Dads and traders. Even the similar smaller groups are the acute sociological interest. A dad is a group consisting of two people. A triad consists of three people. This assembling minor distinction first scrutinized by the German socialist George Simmel have critical consequences for group behavior. Simmel was interested in discovering the effect of the size on groups, and he found that the more differences between 2 and 3 swapped entirely different group dynamics. At any given moment, two people are interacting more or with each other than either is with the third. When the third person wins the attention of one of the other two, a new dad is formed, supplanting the previous. The group trend is consists of dad, the pair of the interacting plus sim isolate. Chadic segregation is what Simmel called the tendency for triads to segregate into a pair and an isolate. A triad tends to segregate into coalition of the dead against the isolate, a two against one situation. The isolate then has the option of initiating the coalition with either member of dead. This choice is a type of social advantage leading Simmel to coin the principles of teacher guidance, a Latin term meaning the third one gains. Interaction in a triad very often end up as two against one. A triad is an unstable social grouping. Various dads are relatively stable. The minor distinction consequence because it changes the character of the interaction within the group. Simmel is known as the discoverer of group size affects the effect of group number of group behavior. Simmel also noted that as groups became larger in size, they generally became more stable and less intimate. With less required of each member, larger groups can lose members and still exist. For example, a military unit can lose members in battle but still exist, although the relationships between individuals in the unit may have been somewhat intense. The last members are replaced by new arrivals, and the unit continues to function. Interaction within members outside the group may also increase the group gets larger. Primary and secondary groups. Cooley, a former sociologist of the Chicago School of Sociology, introduced the concept of the primary group, defined as a group consisting of intimate face-to-face interaction and relatively long-lasting relationships. Cooley had in mind the family and early peer group. In his original formulation, primary was used in the sense of first, the nominate group of the formative years. The insight that an important distinction should be made between intimate groups and other groups provided extremely fruitful. Pule's somewhat narrow concept of family and childhood peers has been elaborated upon over the years to include a variety of intimate relations as examples of primary groups. Primary groups have a powerful influence on an individual personalities or self-identity. The effect of family on individual can hardly be over the weight of peer pressures of school children is particularly notorious. Explaining the characteristics of primary relationships, K. Davis. According to K. Davis, a new personal relationship can be established, an old one can be abandoned. Perhaps the driving force that intended the relationship may give way to another, but no substitution can be made of one individual for one another in the same relationship. Husband and wife, parent child, teacher pupil, friend are a few examples of primary relationship. According to another socialist stimulus, by primary group we mean a group characterized by high degree of solidarity, informality in the code of rules which regulate the behavior of its members, and autonomy in the creation of these rules. The solidarity involves a close identification of the members with one another and with any symbols of the group which might have grown up. These are the groups in which we came to know other people intimately and individually personalities. In such groups, social contacts are intimate, personal, and total in that they involve many parts of person's life experience. The social relationships tend to be informal and relaxed. The members are interested in one another as persons. Families, friendship circles, clique, playgroups, sports clubs, small village, neighborhoods, work team are some of the examples of the primary groups. When we find ourselves identifying closely with a group, it is probably primary group. In contrast to primary groups are secondary groups that are large in membership, less intimate and less long lasting. Secondary groups tend to be less significant in the emotional lives of people. Secondary groups include all the students at a college or university, all the people in your neighborhood, and all the people in a bureaucracy or corporation. Characteristics of primary groups: physical closeness among members. Physical closeness among the members. It is necessary for a primary group that the members consisting it should be physically close to each other. It will be very difficult to exchange thoughts or to help each other if they are not physically close. The members of the primary group are very closely related. Small size. The size of the primary group should be so small that the desired relations can be developed. Intimacy diminishes when the numbers of persons is increased in a class, family, team, or group, other group. Stability. The Primitive closeness in a primary group, it should be stable to some extent. Continuity in the relations. By meeting frequently and by exchanging thoughts, that intimacy increases among the members of a primary group. A sense of we feeling involving mutual identification and shared feeling. Members tend to be emotionally attached to one another. Face-to-face and unspecialized characteristics of association, intimacy and fusion of individualities. The relations of the members are spontaneous, inclusive, personal, and end in themselves. Spatial proximity, physical closeness of members, long during and continuity in the relations of members, interest of members in one another, sentiments and welfare. Importance of primary groups. Primary groups are important both to the individual as well as to the society. They are particularly important in shaping the personality, in formulating self-concepts, in developing a sense of worth, and in becoming an accepted society. In the word school, primary groups are the nursery of human nature. The individual learn the first lesson of loyalty, honesty, sympathy, and develops expectations in these groups. From the point view of individuals, they are primary for the formation of habits and attitudes. They are fundamental to the development of social self and moral knowledge. They impart basic training in social stability, solidarity, and cooperation among persons. They play a pivotal role both in the socialization process and in the development of role and state issues. Roles and status. They are most efficient humanizer of animal drives, sex, hunger, than any other form of association, and they are the important agency for the development of the personality of the individual, for the socialization. The primary groups are also important from the societal point of view. Primary groups are the basic of all social life. Primary groups, the individual acquires basic attitudes towards the world around him, people and social institutions. From these groups, attitudes to tolerance, kindness, love and generosity are derived. Secondary groups. An understanding of the modern industrial society requires an understanding of the secondary groups. The social groups, other than those of primary groups, may be termed as secondary groups. They are residual category. They are often called special interest groups. Macaire and Page refers to them as a great associations. They are of the opinion that secondary groups have become almost inevitable today. Their appearance is mainly due to the growing cultural complexity. Primary groups are found predominantly in societies where life is relatively simple with the expansion in population and territory of the society. However, interests become diversified and other types of relationships, which can be called secondary or impersonal, become necessary. Interest become differentiated. The services of expert are required. The new range of this interest demands a complex organizations, especially selected persons act on behalf of all and hence arises a hierarchy of the officials called bureaucracy. These features characterize the rise of the modern state, the great corporation, the factory, the labor union, a university, or a nationwide political party, and so on. These are secondary groups. Definition of secondary groups. According to Ogburn, secondary groups as groups which provide experience lacking in intimacy. According to Watson, secondary group is larger and more formal, is specialized and direct in its contacts and relies more for unity and continues upon the stability of its social organization than does the primary group. Characteristics of secondary groups. Characteristics of secondary groups. Dominance of secondary relations. Secondary groups are characterized by indirect, impersonal, contractual, and non inclusive relations. Relations are indirect because secondary groups are bigger in size and members may not stay together. Relations are contractual in the sense of they are oriented towards certain interests. Largeness of the size. Secondary groups are relatively large in size. City, nation, political parties, trade unions, and corporations. International associations are bigger size. They may have thousands and lakhs of members. There may not be any limit to the membership in the case of some secondary groups. Membership. Membership in the case of secondary group is mainly voluntary. Individuals are at liberty to join or to go away from the groups. However, there are some secondary groups like the state whose membership is almost voluntary. No physical basis. Secondary groups are not characterized by physical proximity. Many secondary groups are not limited to any definite area. There are some secondary groups like the Rotary Club and Lions Club which are international in character. The members of such groups are scattered over vast area. Specific ends or interest. Secondary groups are formed for the realization of some specific interest or end. They are called special interest groups. Members are interested in the groups because they have specific ends to aim at.